that familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands in air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
The future of healthcare seems dark at times, but for patients in Kentucky with diagnostic imaging needs, there's a place with clarity and a compassionate staff. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI provides quality patient care while saving you hundreds to thousands of dollars as compared to hospital-based centers. Remember, for your medical imaging needs, you have a choice. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI.
Did you know, in addition to education assistance, UPS now provides housing for qualified employees through the UPS Kentucky Living Options and Opportunities Path, also known as UPS Kentucky Loop. You can work part-time in Louisville, go to school at Jefferson Community and Technical College, and receive housing for up to 2 years. Earn a degree or learn a trade. It's up to you. Loop benefits are available to those who live outside the Louisville metro area, whether you're just starting college or going back to school. It's time to get in the loop. For more information, visit upsjobs.com. That's upsjobs.com.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 42nd District Basketball Championship tonight. Here on the girls' side, it's the Henry Clay Lady Blue Devils. Scott County Lady Cards coming in with a 29-1 record. Henry Clay Lady Blue Devils 17-12. It should be a great ball game tonight. Gary Ball courtside with of course, Kyle Oakes joining us tonight from the Georgetown News Graphic, and the King of Stream, William Warfield, producing here tonight. This should be an outstanding basketball game. You can throw out the records because Henry Clay doesn't care what the records are right now. They're here to win a district championship.
They clearly didn't care what the records were last year in this game when it was a similar situation. Scott County had won both games easily during the regular season. If you were there, it was even easier than the final score made it look because the running clock kind of intervened. Totally different story in the district championship where Henry Clay jumped out to a double-digit lead and Scott County really had to scratch and claw to win that one by 14. So I'm expecting nothing less from Henry Clay tonight.
Scoring points will be the premium tonight. Of course, the Lady Cards are the top scoring team in girls basketball, 82 points plus a basketball game. So that begs the question for Henry Clay. Who are they going to get their points from tonight? They're going to start with Kaya Thompson. At one point this year, she was averaging 26. Her point production kind of dropped off a little bit, but she's still outstanding. And Amaya Jenkins averages 16 points as well.
Yeah, I think that's the story there is that Amaya Jenkins is kind of – they have 1A and 1B now. Yeah. So Jenkins has allowed Thompson to do a few other things aside from just being the scorer. I think that's made Henry Clay a better overall basketball team. The key is they'll probably have to get points from other sources as well because you're not going to contain Scott County for too long unless you hold the ball, which is entirely possible.
Well, you look at Scott County, so many weapons. You start with the point guard, Juliet Smith. She averages nearly 10 points a game, 7 assists. Then you go to Malaya Williams, 13 points, a double-double machine, 11 rebounds a game. Then, of course, Kennedy Tompkins, she averages nearly 9 points and 8 rebounds. And then the only the 11th Region Player of the Year. Of course, Malia Owens, 20 points a game, going to Tennessee Tech. And Morgan DeFore, the Red Mamba, as he's affectionately called, she averages 16 points. So who in the world do you stop?
Owens and DeFore have combined for almost 4,000 career points. And the statistic that maybe is the most important one with Malaya Williams, she's 6'3" with a 6'4" wingspan. So not only does she do all that on the offensive end with the double-double every night, but she blocks 5 or 6 shots every game and alters shots that she doesn't block. So she's a defensive force in there.
Well, at 6'2", she's going to be a force in there. Long and lean, and she's an outstanding. She has good timing to the basketball too, whether it's rebounding or blocking shots.
She does, and I think Juliet Smith, you mentioned her, one of the most underrated players in the state. She's kind of the consummate traditional point guard. You mentioned her assist. She's not one that's necessarily going to do the scoring, but she can if she has to, if there's a foul trouble situation or something like that. And she's kind of the glue that holds the team together.
She really is, and she's a 4.0 student in the classroom there at Scott County High School, as are some of these Henry Clay players. You know, you look at Maddie Kaufman, the guard, the freshman. She's a 4.0 student. Then you got Kennedy Williams, who starts as well, 5'11", and she is a freshman. And then they'll probably start Lauren Thomas, another freshman. So they're going with youth here, except the big scorers that we talked about earlier.
Well, and Jenkins is a young player too. So the future is bright here for the Lady Blue Devils, and a good chance for them to kind of see where they're at. This is a measuring stick game for them. They played Scott County fairly early in the season in both those district regular season matchups. So this is a chance to see how far they've come and get themselves ready for what they're going to face in the 11th Region Tournament.
And McMath can come off the bench for Scott County and knock down threes. She's actually a 44% three-point shooter on the season.
I call her the human bruise. She's all of 5'1", maybe on a good day, but she will throw herself all over the floor and make plays for this basketball team coming off the bench.
That's the scene set for the girls basketball championship of the 42nd District. We will step out here on PrepSpin, and also want to remind you, coming up tonight at 8 o'clock, the boys, the second tilt will take place, and that should be maybe the best game in the state of Kentucky going tonight when Henry Clay and Scott County, we say lace the shoes up, but with whatever happened to Zion Williams the other night, I don't know if we're going to lace the shoes up or not tonight.
And especially with all Scott County's been through with Michael Marino's injury, we don't want to see anything like that. Heard from a fairly substantially reliable source that Marino may start tonight, so that's big news for Scott County.
I was going to talk to you about that, when they might ease him back into the starting lineup. Because
there's going to be no easing. It's going to happen tonight, I think.
Their players have played so well, and they've got such continuity going right now without him, but he's such a great player. I think where he helps the most is on the rebounding side of things.
Rebounding and passing. Yeah. I mean, he makes those outlet passes. He had a play the other night on the sideline where he made a steal and just found Bryce Long streaking toward the basket. Touchdown pass.
Touchdown from Marino. We'll step out here on the PrepSpin.com digital network. We're on all platforms tonight. Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on PrepSpin and NFHS Network. We're on all those platforms tonight. You can catch it tonight, and we have the boys game coming up at 8. This is the Mingua Beef Jerky High School Basketball Game of the Week on PrepSpin.com.
I work really hard, but I'm struggling to pay my bills on time. I've gotten pretty far behind, and I don't know what to do.
Is this happening to you? We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
Bankruptcy could be your best solution.
We're here to give you a fresh financial start.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free. In Lexington and now in London.
That familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands and air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath, thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you. We're back here at Lexington Henry Clay, the site of the 42nd District Basketball Championships tonight. Gary Ball with Cal Oaks and the King of Stream, William Warfield. We're set to bring you the girls' action between the Scott County Lady Cards, the #1 ranked team in the state of Kentucky, and the Lexington Henry Clay Lady Blue Devils. They're not ranked, but they've a team that's won 17 basketball games this year, and it's a scary team, Cal, because they've got the parts, and on any given night, Henry Clay can beat anybody.
Yeah, and you just never know what you're going to get at this time of year. Teams tighten up. I don't think many people expected Frederick Douglass to hang with Scott County the other night, and they did for a half. So certainly Henry Clay playing in its own gym, expect the unexpected.
Of course, Destiny Mitchell had 22 points.
Destiny's quite a player, and she had some teammates step up for her too. And I think, as we said, it's definitely Destiny Jackson.
Yeah.
She's averaging 28 per contest, so I think that's to be expected. And it's a time of year where great players do great things.
It really is, and we'll see who the superstar is tonight. There's a number of them that could wear that banner for Scott County because they've got a number of scores on this team. Henry Clay will counter, of course, with Kaya Thompson and Amaya Jenkins. They're 2 outstanding players. Jenkins, just a freshman, she averages nearly a double-double, 16 points and 8 rebounds. And we're going to go, Ken Philippi, the public address announcer, will give us the starting lineups. But first, we're going to step out here on PrepSpin, come back with the starting lineups from Ken Philippi, the public address announcer here at Lexington Henry Clay.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 496 Kentucky schools.
Over 282,000 students benefit from Whitaker Bank's Kentucky education initiatives.
Whitaker Bank has contributed almost $441,000 to education programs for the advancement of Kentucky's youth.
We share your passion, Kentucky.
Love the bank that loves you back.
Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Some things never change, like the sound of pads crushing against the equipment, the feel of cleats on fresh-cut grass, or the deep breaths from a full practice. Another thing that never changes, the feeling of relief when the whistle blows for break, and the savory snack to go along with it. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
I'm on a fixed income. Credit cards help me balance the money that's coming in and what I need to live on. I've thought about bankruptcy, but how am I supposed to pay for it?
Sometimes the people that need help the most are the very people who can least afford it.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free. In Lexington and now in London.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
That familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands and air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath, thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown.
Okay.
And welcome back here to Henry Clay High School. Just about set for here's Ken Philipping with the starting lineup, the public address announcer here.
Number 1, a 5'6" junior guard, 16 points a game, Morgan DeFore. Number 4, a 6'3" forward, junior forward, averaging 13 points and 11 rebounds a game, Malaya Williams. Number 5, a 5'10" forward, sophomore forward, 9 points and 8 rebounds a game, Kennedy Tompkins. Number 11 is a 5'8" senior guard, 20 points, 5 rebounds a game, Malia Owens. And number 14, a 5'5" senior guard, 10 points a game, Juliet Smith. Head coach for the Lady Cardinals, Steve Helton. Starting lineups for the Henry Clay Lady Devils. Number 3 is a 5'6" sophomore guard, 5 points, 3 rebounds a game, Ravion Jackson. Number 21, a 5'9" freshman, guard forward combo, 16 points, 8 rebounds a game, Mia Jenkins. Number 24, a 5'7" senior guard, 16 points a game, Kaya Thompson. Number 32 is a 5'10" freshman forward, averaging 2 points, 3 rebounds a game, Lauren Thomas. And number 34, she's a freshman center, averaging 4 points, 3 rebounds a game, Kennedy Williams. Head coach for the Blue Devils, Eric Sanford, assisted by Erica Jackson. Our officials again this evening.
Welcome back here to Lexington Henry Clay. You heard the starting lineups, and there's our officials tonight. Gary Wilson, David Hall, Scott Kennedy are our 3 officials in this game, and they have a big responsibility, and yet they've deserved it to get here to the district championship. 42nd District. We're going to look at the first 3 or 4 minutes of this ball game because I think that'll tell us a lot about what's going to happen.
Usually tells you a lot about Scott County, how much they can establish their pace early on. And, of course, their pace is frenetic at both ends of the floor. They like to run on offense. They like to pressure you on defense.
So Scott County's out there in a hurry. They're ready to go. Now here comes the Henry Clay Blue Devils. They're in their white. Scott County in the black with the red trim. It's about set for basketball. The tap is up, and it's going to come down to Lauren Thomas. She gives it in backcourt to Ravion Jackson, and Ravion will work it across. And she gives it up over to Thomas. Down low they go, and there's a power move up and in by Thompson.
Williams able to exploit the defense right away, and that's hard to do against Scott County. Get the ball inside in your first possession like that.
Move by Kennedy. So Kennedy Williams.
Number 32,
Thompson, Jenkins, got surprise starter. Ravion Jackson's a surprise starter for Henry Clay. Down low, and that shot's blocked, and it's battle for it. Scott County's going to get it back over, and there's Owens from the right side, and that's going to be over top of the backboard.
Key for Malaya Williams is going to be finish. She had trouble finishing the other night, 19 rebounds, but a lot of them were on her own misses, and she's got to do a better job. But basically a 60% shooter during the year, so she usually makes those short layups.
Long pass, and there was some contact, and they're going to give it back to Scott County as battling for it was Jenkins and DeFore.
And Scott County will make you go faster than you want to sometimes. Not that Henry Clay wants to slow it down by any stretch.
Right side, that three-pointer Owens won't go, and battle for it, rebounded by Henry Clay. And there's going to be a carrying the basketball. They're looking for that more, I think.
Yeah, palming. It seems to be a point of emphasis, doesn't it?
Palming or carrying, whatever you want to call it.
And sometimes it's an athletic move there. It seemed like the right call, but sometimes I think sometimes they call things on girls that they don't call on boys. It bothers me a little.
Angling right side is Smith, Juliet. Down low they go now, and power for it, and shot won't go, and that's going to be Kennedy Tompkins, and she's going to be fouled.
And this is the kind of offense that Coach Helton for Scott County likes. He likes to get the ball inside. For all the shooting prowess that the Lady Cardinals have, he likes to get the ball inside to Tompkins and Williams early.
So Tompkins will go to the line. She will shoot 2. 7:01 to go in the first quarter, and 2-1 as Tompkins knocks it down.
She has really improved her free throw shooting form. Only about a 40% free throw shooter last year, up around 75 this season.
Second one a little short, and pulled down there by Kennedy Williams.
I jinxed her, didn't I?
That's the broadcaster Jinx. Left side it comes now to Thomas. Back out it goes to Ravion Jackson. Right side, power move, and Williams. They get it back outside, losing control of it out there. They get it back now to Jackson. She pounds it down, and good defense. Getting a hand on the ball there is Scott County's Malaya Owens. And the battle on the floor.
Wow.
Jackson's going to kick it down low and block shot up top. And that's a block by Tompkins, but a foul's call.
And DeFore thought she had it tied up here in front of us, and I thought she might have too, but the ref said play on.
Quickly going over to Eric Stanford, or a couple of all of them are going over there for some instruction. At the line will be Kennedy Williams. She has the only basket of the game for Henry Clay.
It's good coaching there by Coach Stanford. You kind of get a de facto timeout here, and you use the time to get some instruction without spending one.
Kennedy knocked down that free throw. She now has 3 points. She got them both. So 4 points for Kennedy Williams. I tell you, if they get that third score going, and here's DeFore, in and out, rebounded by Thomas.
So much dependence on the three early. We've seen Owens and DeFore fire up 3 of them so far.
Thomas over to Jenkins, knocks it down. Jenkins, that's a three-pointer by Amaya Jenkins, and it's 7-1. Down low they go, and turning and scoring with a nice, easy move down low. And that was an outstanding move by Malaya Williams.
And again, you've just got to exploit that advantage in the middle. She's got it over just about every team they play for obvious reasons.
Yep, she's about 6'2". Down the basket, and it's easy shot for Thompson. Kaya Thompson with the bucket, 9-3.
I'll tell you, I saw both regular season games. This is by far the best the Henry Clay offense looked against Scott County so far.
Williams spinning, gets it out to the 4. She launches it, and bingo.
Shooter's got to shoot.
And that's what Morgan DeFore will do. And she cuts right into that 6-point lead. It's 9-6 all of a sudden.
Cuts it right in half, and she'd taken her first one and missed it, but she has no conscience whatsoever.
I tell you, they're putting the ball in Thompson's hands.
I think you got to. She's your best player.
She gives it back out to Jenkins. Loses on the floor. Battle for Juliet Smith, and Jenkins come up with it. Thompson, and a reaching foul is going to be called, and it's going to go on Williams.
They're calling some of those touch fouls early on, and that's one thing you got to watch for with Scott County is the big players getting in foul trouble, Williams and Tompkins, because there's not a whole lot coming off the bench to replace them. Kaylee Wise a little bit.
Lob out to Ravion Jackson. She didn't start the other night for Henry Clay. They're going down low now to Williams, turns and throws it up and out of bounds off of Scott County. I think that time Williams might have thought some contact.
Boy, they're not shy about getting the ball to Williams, and she's not shy about taking it right to the hoop. I'm impressed with her so far.
Ravion Jackson, they get it out top to Thomas. She loses it, and DeFore's got a bust out. DeFore with the layup up and in. 5 points.
Glad she just took it to the hoop. Sometimes she'll look back and try to draw that contact and miss the layup as a result, trying to get the 3-point play. So just get the certain 2 and go from there.
Morgan has 5 of the 8 points for Scott County. Henry Clay leads 9-8. Jackson to the basket, off glass, up and in. Ravion Jackson, now we know why she started.
And the great thing for Henry Clay, they're getting everybody involved in the offense early. It's not just coming from Thompson and Jenkins.
Owens back out to Smith. Juliet drives to the paint, puts it up, back of the rim, battle for it, down low on the floor. Thomas battling and throws it out of bounds, and she throws it, and it'll go back to Scott County. She did just throw it out of bounds. Nobody was there.
Yeah, she was hoping someone would be there. It's like the option pass in football where you're kind of dishing it off and just praying.
Lob to Williams on the inbound, gives out to the 4, and she lines up to 3, back of the rim, no. Tapped out, with it is Williams to the basket, rolls in. Nice soft shot there for Malaya Williams.
And when you have a nice soft shot like that, the iron will be kind sometimes.
It was very kind that time. 11-10, 3:58 to go in this first period of the girls' 42nd. Coming up at 8 o'clock. The boys' action right here from the 42nd. This should be a packed house for that one, Cal.
I expect the seats up in the upper section will be full by the time 8 o'clock rolls around.
Williams in the middle, right side. Jackson shot, no. But underneath, and the shot put up won't go. Down low, off the glass, no. Battle for it, and it's going to put it up, and a foul's going to be called. Williams going to war there on the offensive glass.
I think Kennedy Tompkins will get called for it. She's saying, I went straight up. I don't know what more I could do, but you see there how those two just alter shots. I mean, even layups. Henry Clay is a little bit timid about going after it.
Kennedy Williams will be back up there. She was 2 for 2 her first trip, but she missed that one.
It's the second foul for Tompkins, and Kaylee Wise checks in.
A sophomore, 5'11".
In a close game, it'll be her, it'll be Braley McMath, and Timmy Williams. That'll be about it coming off the bench for Scott County.
Juliet Smith works it across the line, 12-10. Henry Clay on top. As we said, Wise is in there. There's a long three by Owens. Won't go. Tap around, and they couldn't save it. It'll go back to Henry Clay.
A little strong on the three-pointers. The adrenaline seems to be
pumping,
flowing a little bit.
It's definitely pumping here in the basket in the game. 42nd District. Across the line is Ravion Jackson with DeFore on her. Angles right, gets a pick, goes through it, to the basket, off glass, no, tapped up, tapped around, and they get it back in a 15-footer put up in and out there for Thompson. They get it back, Thompson will try again. This time she hits a three.
Scott County getting badly out-rebounded the past couple of possessions.
15-10. To the basket, that won't go. Inside, battle for it, and Williams battling, DeFore. Out top, Juliet Smith, the three. That's too strong. And they're trying to chase it down in the corner, and they save it into Thomas. Thomas there battling with Wise, and she gets it now to Jenkins. Across the line is Ravion Jackson, the sophomore. Handling the ball pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they want it to go through Thompson's hands, but some of the other players are able to step in and do that. And to go as far as you want in the playoffs, you got to have that ability, even if your players are young.
That foul went on Henry Clay, went on Kennedy Williams. That's 2 on her.
Yeah, that was definitely a moving screen, and they're emphasizing those at this time of year as well.
2:26 to go in the first period. Henry Clay on top, 15-10, leading Scott County. Owens into the paint, dribbles it back out on the left elbow, drives in, throws it up, and draws a foul. That's what she was trying to do.
She was trying to do it over here.
Yeah.
The high dribble she got away with, and then she was kind of lobbying for the foul as she was driving into the paint. And she finally got one.
Malia looking for her first point, and she knocks it down.
Yeah, it's unusual for her to be held in check that long.
Yeah, we played nearly 6 minutes, 2:13 to go.
She did have 35 the other night in 3 quarters.
Kylie Isom, 33, is checked in for Henry Clay. Isom in there. She comes in for Thomas. And
I believe they're missing one on the scoreboard. I believe she hit both of those.
Yeah, I think she did too. 15-12, 2:13 to go here in this first quarter. Across the line, that's Taviani Sanford. Spin in and shot, put up and in. Nice move by Thompson.
Beautiful spin move there. Nothing you can do about that after you lose your person.
Smith traveled and they throw it up, and good job by Malaya Williams with the stick back after Juliet Smith traveled to the basket and put up a shot. The other way, there's a high off the glass, won't go there, and a whistle and a foul call. I tell you, they're throwing Miss Sanford around like a rag doll in there.
And Kaylee Wise doing exactly what Steve Helton sends her in there to do, which is grab a rebound. She's not a big scorer off the bench, but she will give you quality minutes and bang around in there.
Kaya Thompson has 7. That leads everybody. 6 for Malia Williams. That leads Scott County. 17-14. High pass right in front of us here. Goes out of bounds. And it'll go back to Scott County.
Malia Owens looking for a foul again, and there was contact, but no call.
Penetration by Juliet Smith. Lobs into Williams. Williams catches. Back out top, and almost up and down there by
She kept her foot.
Owens.
She kept her foot on the floor. Nice pass.
Back door they go, and the shot won't go there for Williams. Sticks it back up and in. Boy, Williams doing a good job. 8 points.
She's getting them all on stick backs, isn't
Yeah.
she? And that's what she does. I'd like to know what percentage during the year.
Rebounds her own miss a lot of times.
And she pads her own stats, as Coach says, but it works.
17 all here.
That's what you can do when you're a half foot taller than everybody else on the floor.
Jackson swings it out top there to Isom. She'll line up the 3. That's off the rim. Rebounded by DeFore.
That was not a patient possession for Henry Clay.
Not
They're getting out of the game that they want to play.
DeFore's shot won't go.
But
rebounded by Henry Clay on the floor, and battling is Jackson, and we have a jump ball call, possession arrow favoring Scott County.
In turn, DeFore hurries a shot at the other end, and I know that drives Coach Helton insane sometimes, but quite often it will go in, and you'll say, okay.
Why not? Kaylee Wise will trigger it in bounds, and also in there is Braylee McMath, the 5'1" sophomore.
Might be a time and score possession here, which you don't see much from Scott County, but with under 30 seconds to go and a chance to maybe go in at the quarter break with the lead. But
Jackson will be called for that foul.
Foul totals mounting for Henry Clay, which it's usually the other way around. Scott County, the brand of defense they play, they tend to be the ones that get the other team in the bonus situation.
Keep adjusting that score, Cal. It's 17-16, they say. The forward of the basket, left side won't go, and rebounded. And coming out there with it is Maya Jenkins, and she's fouled.
They're correct. It is 17-16. I had noticed they credited Williams with 3 on that last 2, which was obviously just somebody with an itchy trigger finger.
They keep changing the scoreboard up there. You guys noticing that? Yeah, we were talking about it.
William was just asking if we noticed I keep changing the score. I said, yeah, we were just talking about that.
Pressure on Thompson
there. To the basket, right side, and she's going to put it up and draw the foul.
Nope, she traveled. She probably did draw the foul, but she walked first.
Yeah, there was some contact, but she traveled before the contact. 2 seconds. McMath launches a 3, and that's off the mark. So Henry Clay, Lady Blue Devils, will take a 17-16 lead into the second quarter here. Minky Beef Jerky. I want to thank our title sponsor here on PrepSpin. 17-16, Henry Clay on top. Scott County will be back after this on PrepSpin.com. Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and PrepSpin.
By the numbers, Whitaker.
And we're back here at the 42nd District Basketball Tournament. Gary Ball with Cal Oaks and the King of Stream, William Warfield. And it's 17-16. Henry Clay by 1, leading the Scott County Lady Cards. And let's see what Henry Clay has for us here in the second quarter. We know what Scott County's got for us.
Just pressure and size and ability to stick the 3, even though they may take a bunch to get there.
Jenkins will put it into Sanford. Sanford will work it across on Morgan DeFore. Angle toward the left side. Sanford looking for help. Gives it up now to Jenkins. Jenkins to the basket with the left hand. Rolls off. Tapped out. And last touched by Scott County. I believe Scott County hit that out.
I'm impressed with the comfort level that the young Henry Clay player has shown. But when you think about it, it's a nothing-to-lose game. You know you're going to regions, and that helps certainly.
Three-pointer, and that's no good by Jenkins. She tried to line it up. It looked like a pretty good mark from our angle. We had a good shot at that one. DeFore to the basket, up and in, off glass.
That's her strong side. She likes going to the left, and she'll hit them off balance as often as she will like that straight on.
7 for Morgan DeFore. They call her the Red Mamba, don't they?
They do. That's her nickname. That's the first lead for Scott County, and the Red Mamba is the one to often be the one to give you that.
Sanford stops from about 10 and tries to bank that one in, and the ball's loose, picked up by McMath.
Henry Clay getting away from what they did early in the game offensively, which is patience.
McMath from 3, where she hits 44%. There's a reason.
Cannot leave her open.
McMath, a 44% three-point shooter, knocks her first attempt down, and it's 21-17. The lead belongs to Scott County. The Lady Cards on top by 4. And this is what they do to teams. They let you play with them. They lull you to sleep or lull you into some type of cognitive state, and then they just put them away, you know.
It's hard to keep up with that pace for 32 minutes. You can do it for 8, you can do it for 16, but they will just wear you down.
21-17, and good timeout there by Eric Sanford.
Yeah, you got to take it there because it could have gotten out of hand quickly.
And he knew that. 7:01, the Henry Clay and Scott County boys game, the championship of the 42nd, coming up at 8 o'clock tonight right here on PrepSpin.
And he probably told them, slow it down a little bit. There's no reason, there's no shot clock in this game. Don't come down and fire one up every 5 seconds. It's not going to get you where you want to go.
Sanford looking for cutters. Jackson clears out. They give it up over to Thompson. Thompson, left hand spinning to the basket, put it up and in.
She is so good at handling the ball and creating her shot with that spin.
9 points for Thompson. McMath crossing over. Now she's going to set it up left side, give it up in the corner. There's a shot put up, and that won't go, and that's a new player in the game.
Timmy Williams.
Yeah, that's Williams in there. And a shot put up and in. Nice job by Amia Jenkins with that shot.
She saw the lane and took it coast to coast. Ties it up.
McMath back of the rim, no. Rebounded, and a foul's called from behind. And going to the line will be Malia Owens.
And it's a big offensive rebound there by Owens. Without Williams and Tompkins in the game, Malaya Williams and Tompkins in the game, you got to have some rebounding from people that might normally not be your top two.
So at the line will be Owens. She knocks down the free throw. This young girl's going to Tennessee Tech, right?
Yes.
She was the 11th Region Player of the Year up for Miss Basketball.
And
I think she has a good shot at it.
We say it often, but it's certainly true in this case. Great player, better person.
Exactly. 4.0 student.
Does just countless things in her community, her church group, and things of that nature too.
Sanford trying to get them to clear out. They get it over to Thompson. Kaya Thompson with the left hand. Spinning back around. Looking for Jenkins, but Jenkins is well covered by Williams over there. Thompson back toward the middle. A three-pointer clanks off there and rebounded by Wise.
Some big defensive rebounds by Wise in this first half. They needed some minutes from her, and they've gotten it.
DeFore behind the back. Some fancy dribbling and puts up the shot. No, Wise rebounds. She turns and misses. Down low, coming out there with it. Leads it out, and she throws it too far. She leads too far to Thompson.
Incomplete.
Yep. Exactly.
Nice idea, and you had the right player on the receiving end. Just a little too stout on the pass.
And back in are Juliet Smith, also Tompkins back in, and back in is Malaya Williams.
Tompkins with the 2 fouls. You got to be careful.
Yeah, that's true. Goes over to Owens on the right side. Gives it to Tompkins. Tompkins puts it up. No. Battle for it down low, and Juliet hustles out to DeFore. DeFore loses a handle on the floor, diving for it, and it's going to be a steal and a foul called.
And guess who? Tompkins. It's her third, and she kind of shrugs and looks at her dad over here and shakes her head, and Timmy Williams will check in for her.
So Williams in for Tompkins. Boy, she didn't get to play long with that second foul, did she?
No, she did not, and that's a big loss for the rest of the half, and effectively for the start of the second half as well. If you've got 3 fouls, it's
that's probably the only way Chance Henry Clay has is to get players in foul trouble.
Oh, absolutely, especially the bigger players, because there's not a lot. Although Wise has played really, really well.
Maddie Cox is in there. She's got the ball and hands it off now to Jackson. Jackson to the basket, left hand, no. Rebounded, coming down there with it was Malaya Williams. To the basket, and shot put up, won't go there for Williams.
Nice rebound by Malaya, though.
Yep, and Juliet Smith's shot won't go, and rebounded by Henry Clay.
It's just so hard. You get dependent on threes, and in a game like this, things tighten up, and they just don't fall for you. You got to find other ways to create offense.
Sanford, and we're going to have a foul called. Yeah, we're going to have a foul called on Owens.
Scott County wanted the 5-second call. They got the foul instead. That's Owens first. Team 6th.
7 fouls for Henry Clay. 6 for Scott County.
Bonus both ways after this, the rest of the half.
Tight ball game here, Cal.
Yeah,
4:08 to go in the first half, 22-21.
I don't remember all the details, but I remember last year Henry Clay jumped out to a 19-9 lead, and it was close right till the end of the third period.
Thomas gives it to the basket with the scoop shot up and in for Thompson. She's got 11.
And if you've got Kaya Thompson, you've got a puncher's chance.
DeFore over left side, and there's a shot for Thomas, won't go, and good rebound by Williams. Kicks it out to Juliet. Juliet Smith to the basket. Back over now to the big girl, and Williams will lay it up and in for her 10th point.
Beautiful pass by Juliet Smith there to reclaim the lead for Scott County with Malaya Williams providing the finishing touch.
She knew that she was there, didn't she? There's to the basket. That won't go. Juliet Smith coming out with it. Kicks it out to DeFore. DeFore running the floor, and she lays it up and in. She will get the soup and the sandwich.
You finally got a chance to say that.
Yeah.
It had been a while.
Yeah, it has
all
been.
night.
You're right. We played almost the first half. Thank you, Morgan DeFore.
It's going to give her a chance to get into double figures. Malaya Williams already there with 10. And Morgan DeFore going for her 10th point here.
Yeah, so many weapons for the Scott County team.
And you see on that last play, that pass, that nice pass, that's what Scott County does. And sometimes they do too much of it. Sometimes there's almost the tendency to be too pretty, too showtime. But boy, when it works, it's fun to watch.
So DeFore at the line and misses the free throw and pulled down by Thomas. Lauren with the rebound. Gives it now to Jenkins, and we're going to have over and back as that was over and back called against Henry Clay, so Scott County will get the basketball.
Taviana Sanford straddling the line there, and I think she knew it. They kind of tried to dispute it, but not very hard.
McMath, who already knocked down a three in this game, she had her initial shot. She knocked down the three, missed her last one.
If you give her room, she will.
Owens to the basket, lost control of it, and a foul's going to be called, and that's going to go on Jenkins.
She'll get to the line, and she's a great free throw shooter. I don't want to say more than that because I haven't helped her cause with that comment yet tonight. But certainly on the plus side of 80%.
Owens averaging 20 points on the season, and she got the free throw.
And as you said, I do think she's a contender for Miss Basketball, and I voted for her, and I'm sure I'm a homer, but just what she does to make her teammates better. And if you think about what she would do if everything she does was prorated over a 32-minute game, she rarely plays 32 minutes.
I think her biggest competition is the girl from Boyd County, Savannah Wheeler.
I agree.
I think one of those two will
potentially win. Lauren Schwartz, but I think those three are probably the best, the three I would choose.
Yeah, the girl up at Ryle.
Yeah.
And that shot goes in by Thompson, who's putting on a clinic here with 2:58 to go, and she's keeping Henry Clay close with her 13 points.
Baker's dozen. That's more than half the Lady Blue Devils offense so far, but it's kept them within 3 and a chance to get within 2 again.
And she knocks it down. 14 for Thompson. She's got 14 of the 26, 28-26, Scott County by 2. Williams gives it back to McMath. Looks for a pick. Bounce pass.
Owens called for the back door and got it.
In.
She was pointing it out. She made eye contact with McMath and called for the bounce pass, and it was a beautiful one.
30-26. Scott County by 4. 2.5 minutes to play, first half. Get it back out top to Jackson. Thomas back to Jackson. Jenkins trying to clear out. Kick it over the left side to Sanford. Penetrates, throws up and off. Balance shot won't go, and rebounded by Williams.
That was kind of a prayer. You want a better shot than that if you're Coach Sanford.
DeFore. Back it goes, and a shot put up and in by Williams.
They have exploited the mismatch there tonight. 12 points for Malaya, and she's made it look fairly easy. Both on putbacks and that one off a set play.
She has 12. Morgan DeFore has 10 on my score sheet. 32-26. 6-point spread, and Henry Clay's going to be patient here. They've seen Scott County stretch out the lead to 6 points.
Yeah, you don't want it to get to 10 before the half if you're Henry Clay.
There's a 5-second call.
Another turnover. I was saying the other night, especially the boys, Scott County gets that call more than any other program in the state. I think just the way they play defense.
They will play Henry Clay number 1 and number 3, but we say there's an argument for number 2.
I think when number 3 has beaten number 2.
Yeah.
Granted, it was in this building, it was a 2-point game, but hey, scoreboard.
Could be number 1 and number 2 battling here for the district championship. Right side, that shot won't go there for Williams, and it was partially blocked, I
was going to say, Kaya got a piece of it. Not Kaya.
Thompson,
34, Williams.
Blocked. And coming down there with it, Scott County.
Williams.
Juliet Smith over to DeFore. DeFore lines it up good.
And Williams definitely got a piece of it on this end, and it led to 3 at the other. And just like that, it's a 9-point lead.
13 for DeFore. 35-26. The lead is 9 with a minute to go here in the first half of action. And there's a three-pointer out of the left side. It's an air ball by Sanford.
And again, it's just so hard to take disciplined shots against Scott County.
Long pass to Juliet Smith. She's fouled from behind.
You could make a case that that's intentional.
Yeah, you could. A definite case.
Coach Helton thinks so. He's Xing the heck out of things over there.
I don't think he's trying to put a jinx on anybody. He's just over there saying that's intentional.
I mean, it was just a push in the back. There was no play on the ball at all. But. Oh, well.
Juliet Smith, what a great point guard, and she gets the free throw, rolls off there. She's still looking for her first point of the game.
Yeah, and she's known for she'll go a long time without scoring, and then you watch. If it gets close in the third quarter, she'll string together 4 or 6 points in a row to stretch it out, but just no hint of an ego, perfect point guard mentality.
Exactly. Has a 4.0 in the classroom.
Yeah, that helps too.
Yeah.
She wants to be an engineer like her father.
The lead is 10. That's the biggest lead that Scott County's had with 52 seconds here in the first half. Gary Ball with Kyle Oakes and the king of string, William Warfield.
See how quickly it happens? It was a tie game.
Yeah, I do.
Like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the Scott County team. They get a big lead in a hurry. And that ball is lost out of bounds, and it'll go back to Henry Clay. They're saying that Wise touched that, but I didn't see it.
No.
38 seconds.
They were closer than we were. I guess we'll give them the benefit.
We're right down here on the court.
That's true.
Jackson gets it into Jenkins. Left side it goes to the basket. Thompson up and in.
So impressed with Kaya Thompson tonight. 16 points, and it feels like more than that.
Right side, there's a three-pointer knocked down by Owens.
Owens is not afraid. She's got 10.
21 seconds in the first half. 39-28. Jackson working on McMath. Jackson to the basket, put it up with the left hand, no. Thomas rebounds, sticks it up, no. Battle for McMath's got it with 6 seconds. McMath looks up at the clock, 4 seconds. Cross over it goes now. Juliet Smith, ball knocked away. She throws it up, and no good. They're going to wave that off.
Wow.
They're going to wave it off immediately. So 39-28 will be Scott County's lead here at halftime as they lead Lexington Henry Clay with the boys playing at 8 o'clock tonight. Your thoughts very quickly on that first half?
Well, it started off 7-1 for Henry Clay. Ever since then, it was 38-21 Scott County. So that's more, I think, what most people expected. But you got to give Henry Clay a call for hanging in there, and Kaya Thompson especially.
The King of Stream said that call was correct. So
okay, yeah, well, he was right. The ref was right on top of it, and it was no uncertain terms. He was waving it off before it even went in.
But Scott County has an 11-point lead, 39-28 here at halftime. We'll come back here on PrepSpin, and of course we'll have some first half highlights and statistics. Easy for me to say. We'll have some stats and also some first half highlights when we come back on PrepSpin, the leading digital network in the state of Kentucky.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Over 30,000 Kentuckians are saving time and money by doing their banking online with Whitaker Electronic Banking.
341,000 transactions were made on the go last year using the Whitaker Bank mobile app.
Over 340,000 text alerts were sent last year with Whitaker Bank text banking.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky. By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 956 Kentucky charities and community events.
Employees of Whitaker Bank volunteered 14,860 hours to better our Kentucky communities.
93 nonprofits that promote diversity and inclusion in Kentucky are supported by Whitaker Bank.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
I work really hard, but I'm struggling to pay my bills on time. I've gotten pretty far behind, and I don't know what to do.
Is this happening to you? We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
Bankruptcy could be your best solution.
We're here to give you a fresh financial start.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free in Lexington and now in Somerset.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
There are 50 Whitaker Bank locations serving Kentucky communities just like mine.
61 Whitaker Bank ATMs throughout Kentucky make getting quick access to cash easy.
Whitaker Bank staff serves the needs of nearly 70,000 Kentucky customers every day.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Ball with Cal Oaks and William Warfield, the King of Stream, back here at halftime of Henry Clay and Scott County girls action from the championship of the 42nd District. Coming up, we'll have the boys game, and boy, that should be, as we already kind of talked about, Cal, that should be a great one between the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah, I think so too, and you know, they always say hard to beat a good team 3 times, and Henry Clay's a very, very, very good team. And they're playing in their home gym tonight, so it's going to be a tall order for Scott County. And, you know, saying that, I think there's a good chance we'll see these teams play each other a 4th time in about a week and a half.
Three players in double figures for Scott County.
Yeah, and as far as the girls go tonight, 3 in double figures, and I've seen all 5 score in double figures plenty of times this year, both boys and girls actually. But Tompkins struggling tonight with the fouls, but other than that, everybody else is on pace to do what they normally do out here. And Scott County's been able to control the pace here a little better in the second quarter and stretch this one out.
You are with the Georgetown News Graphic as your paper, Cal, and that paper really growing over there, as is that area over there in Georgetown.
Boy, it grows by leaps and bounds. I've been there 3 years, and there's just construction going on all the time, and new businesses and new homes. And I mean, obviously, it's great to have a place like Toyota over there. It's a boon to the whole community, but it just feels like there's a lot of positive energy. And of course, with Great Crossing High School opening next year. It's going to be a new dynamic for sports. There's no question. I'm sure there's some people licking their chops that won't have to play Scott County with its 2,400 students or whatever it is right now, but I don't think you're going to see a big drop-off. And what I think you are going to see is more kids playing sports for longer that may have abandoned ship early on because they knew they were going to struggle to find playing time.
And you mentioned that, the Great Crossing program, they'll start football in the fall, and Scott County will drop down to 5A in football. So how do you see that developing?
Well, I think it's going to be great because not only are they dropping down to 5A, but Frederick Douglass is dropping down to 5A. So that rivalry is going to stay intact. I think it's going to rebuild some old rivalries that existed back in the day. And, you know, the first game of the season is going to be Scott County against Great Crossing. I know some people from Scott County really want to send a message there, but Great Crossing, I look at their schedule, and they've got some teams on there I think they can hang with. They're going to be young, but they've got an enthusiastic coach who has promised to put the ball in the air a lot. That's not something that people in Scott County are used to, so I think it's going to create a new dynamic and some excitement there.
One team that grounds and pounds, another team that airs it out.
You know, and that's good for everybody because I think you're going to see some kids that go, oh, that looks like an awfully exciting style of play. And I'm an old school wing tee guy myself. I love what Scott County does. But I can understand being 14, 15 years old and saying, I'd like to throw and catch the ball a little bit. And maybe that looks appealing to them, so who knows?
Well, I'm an old Boone County guy, and the 3 yards in a cloud of dust was Owen Houck's strategy there at Boone County. Back in the day in '94 when we had Sean Alexander, the young man that played for the Alabama Crimson Tide and went on to play for the Seattle Seahawks, you could run with the best of them. I think Sean's senior year, he had over 3,000 yards and 53 touchdowns himself.
Well, even the spread's a funny thing. You can be a spread team and still be a running team. You look at Mayo; they won the state title in 6A with a quarterback doing most of the running for them.
Yeah, he was just basically running behind that big offensive line.
Basically a single wing as well.
Yeah, it was that big offensive line he had there at Louisville Mayo. And we're just about set for the second half. Henry Clay and Scott County. Henry Clay jumped out, as Cal said, 7-1. But since that point, I tell you what, it's been a onslaught by Scott County, the Lady Cards, and they've done it with their three-headed monster of Malaya Williams with 12, Malia Owens with 10, and Morgan DeFore with 12.
And you got to see as the first half went on, there were fewer players other than Kaya Thompson that were going to step up and do things for Henry Clay. It seemed like the collars got a little tighter.
We talked about it in the pregame. Kaya Thompson started out early in the season, averaged about 25, 26. Her scoring dropped off, but man, we've seen her in this district championship. Both teams will go to the 11th region, by the way.
I think she probably knows, and probably Coach Sanford knows, that in order for Henry Clay to have a chance tonight, she needed 30+. And she's probably on pace for that or close to it, but it's going to be a tall order, even so.
Be Juliet Smith, Malia Owens, Kennedy Tompkins, Malia Owens, and Morgan DeFore. Down low they go, and turning and scoring, Williams. That's 14 for Williams.
And right away, that's almost like a set play out of a timeout. That was a set play out of halftime. They knew where they were going with it, and Malia Williams made it work.
14 points for Malia. She now becomes the game's high scorer. Scott County's high scorer. I think Thompson has 16.
She had a 30-point game earlier this year with 23 rebounds, if you can believe it.
Thompson's 3, Thomas rebounds. Bounces over on the left side to Williams. Back it goes Thompson. Back door, and a shot put up and in, and a foul by Jenkins will make the basket of Mia Jenkins, and she will go to the line.
Beautiful vision and a beautiful pass by Kaya Thompson there to create something for her young teammate. Jenkins with a chance for 3.
Jenkins will be up there. She had 5 points in the first half, 7 now. Looking for her 8th point, in and out, and rebounded by Tompkins. Hands to Juliet Smith, and Juliet quickly down court to DeFore, lines up to 3, got it!
She'll take that every time. She wanted to take it, and then she kind of did a little head fake and got a little different angle and dropped it.
She's got 15 now in the game. That's right at her average of 16.
She'll pile them up quickly. I'll see her go a half without scoring and then end up with 20 in the second half.
Thomas has it blocked by Williams. And Juliet Smith flies out of there. Leads it out now to Owens. Owens with left hand, put it up, and she's fouled.
Good vision from Smith. The two seniors, the only two seniors, which is amazing with this team with their record, seeing one another there and making that play happen.
We're in the third quarter, 6:49 to go in the third quarter, and Scott County edging out here. And not even slowly. We've only played a minute and 11 seconds, and they've got you look up and they've got a 15-point lead.
That's the expression.
Bart. the great Scott County fans.
What's the expression? Death by 1,000 paper cuts. That's what this feels like for Henry Clay.
And at the line is
Malia Owens.
That's right, Owens, and I was blocked there. So
she made the first. Yes, gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist, All-American Ryan Bartz.
Yeah, Ryan Bartz.
The super fan.
Stopped by to say hello.
Every time I stop at Georgetown Kroger, we end up having about a 20-minute conversation about Scott County sports.
And this is the only problem we're going to have here. Scott County is entering the building, and they're walking right in front of us here. So we can't see. Good thing there's a timeout. So we got saved by the timeout.
Good timing.
Saved by the bell, so to speak. 6:27 to go. We're going to keep it right here. Scott County and Henry Clay will battle right after this one. And in the boys' side, here it's 45-30. The Scott County Lady Cards on top. And they're out of the, of course, 11th region tournament for the girls will start Thursday night. The boys will start on Monday night.
At campus sites, which makes these games important tonight.
Right. District champions will host.
Because can you imagine if Scott County, you've been #1 all season, right? If you lose this game tonight, you potentially could end up going to Madison Central for the first round of the region and playing in their building. Or even Woodford County.
Yeah.
That's not what you want.
Or Frankfort. Henry Clay has the basketball. They give it to Taviani Sanford. She works it across very slowly. 6:19 in the third quarter, 45-30. Scott County Lady Cards on top here at the 42nd District Championship in front of a good crowd here tonight. Working down low, Jenkins gets it back over to Sanford.
It's a good crowd, and it's growing by the moment.
It's growing
the minute.
Every minute. At 8 o'clock game with the boys, Scott County and Henry Clay, place will be packed.
Yeah, I don't think there's any girls fans that are going to leave after this.
Williams knocks it down. She was inside the line, though.
Yeah, she was stepping on it.
Two-pointer. She stepped inside the line. And there's a three-pointer. Won't go for Owens. And long track down. Henry Clay's got it, and she's going to step out of bounds on the sideline.
So many long rebounds when Scott County shoots, because if they miss those threes, sometimes they miss by a lot, but you got to be careful. If you're Henry Clay, you track it down, then you step on the line like that.
Juliet Smith over to the 4, looking for Tompkins. Tompkins posting up, spin move back left, blocked, and a foul called, and the foul's going to go on Kennedy Williams.
Kennedy Tompkins just happy the foul was called on someone else finally.
Yeah.
She gets to go to the line.
Call it on another Kennedy, she said. Don't call it on this one. So Tompkins at the line will shoot 2. 5:34 in the third, 45-32. Scott County on top, but Tompkins can add to that Lady Cardinal lead, and it rolls in. Nice soft touch there.
She's found a way to use that rim this year on those free throws instead of trying to go nothing but net every time.
Second one and off the mark. Rebounded, coming down with it is Thompson. They give it up over. Now Thompson's going to bring it across. Thompson crossing over on Smith to the basket. Kicks it out now. And over goes now on the left side. They give it up to Sanford.
Good patient possession for Henry Clay. It's what they need at this point, but time does become a factor here before long.
Three-pointer won't go for Thompson, and rebounded and knocked away right in front of us here, and diving in front of us, out of bounds. It'll go back to Henry Clay. Great hustle there by Malaya Williams.
Yeah. She makes it look so easy at 6'2". I'm 6'2" and can't do anything more athletic than tie my shoes at this point.
Man, she was very graceful sliding across there. I was impressed. 4:50 to go in the third period. 46-32. Scott County on top. Back door they go. Shot put up and in. Nicely by Jackson. Ravion Jackson. Good assist. Out top, and there's Tompkins' shot off the rim. Rebounded down low, and whistle. I thought they were going to call a foul. There was some contact, but they say Malia Owens lost it out of bounds.
Scott County is not a team that really knows how to nurse a lead. You can see that here. They've got a double-digit lead, but the last couple of possessions they've come down and just fired up, and honestly, that's just what they do. They don't kill a lot of time, even when it's the fourth quarter.
That's why you average 82 points a game.
That's right. With a lot of running clocks dictating things, by the way.
Yeah.
That cuts into that.
Jenkins out top to the basket and won't go. Rebounded and stuck up and in nicely by Williams. Kennedy Williams with 8 points.
And don't look now, but Henry Clay's within 10 again.
The other way, they pass it out now to Williams, and jump ball called. Possession error will go back to Henry Clay. Henry Clay's got it down to 10. They've got the basketball with 3:59 here in the third quarter against Scott County. And, well, the crowd is, you're right, Cal, you said it at halftime, crowd just continues to grow here.
That top section is about
Yeah.
half to 2/3 full on the Scott County side now. I don't know what it's doing behind us, but I bet it's the same.
We'll think we're back in the old days with Jack Gibbons and James Lee of Henry Clay. Remember the packed houses back then?
Can you imagine?
They packed Memorial Coliseum.
Good to see, because in this day and age, sometimes people are a little less connected to their community.
DeFore almost grabbed the rebound, but stolen away. To get it down low, and DeFore strips it out of there. Good job there. Good defense. DeFore faking the three on the left side, behind the back, to the basket, and bounces it, and a shot up and in, and good by Williams on a great pass by the Red Mamba.
The Red Mamba owned that possession.
Let's look at that again.
She desperately wanted to take that three, and she said nope. She drove the baseline and found Williams cutting to the basket for the easy deuce and potentially three.
That's what you needed when you had a 10-point lead. Now you got a 12, and all of a sudden, and that's going to be a lane violation.
Yeah, they ought to
and
get a second chance.
And rebounded by Henry Clay. I thought somebody was in the lane there, but they didn't call it. 48-36, Scott County.
She was falling forward, but maybe Williams let go of the ball first.
3 minutes to go in the third quarter here. Coming up tonight at 8 o'clock. On PrepSpin, the Mingua Beef Jerky Game of the Week. It'll be the boys' championship. Henry Clay and Scott County. That shot won't go out to the left side, and we're going to have knocked out of bounds and going to give it to Scott County.
Leah Williams' mere presence got that possession. She didn't even have to grab the rebound, because you're going against her. You just kind of, sometimes it slips out of your fingers.
Juliet Smith will work it down the middle very slowly. Now angles to the right side and looking to Owens. Down low, shot up and in by Tompkins.
First field goal of the night for Kennedy Tompkins, KT as they call her. Foul trouble's been a big factor in that.
50-36, Scott County by 14. 2:23. Right side to Jenkins. Jenkins looking for cutters. Now comes out to Thomas. Thomas working on Tompkins of Scott County. And DeFore comes in and says, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm going to strip the ball away, but they get it back, and there's a pass left side, and a shot won't go for Henry Clay's Jackson. Long pass to DeFore. She chases it down, lines up to three, air ball, and pulled out of there. Pulled out of there by Jenkins.
But Henry Clay gives it right back, which is a lucky break for Scott County, because certainly not the shot you needed there.
Checking into the game is...
Looks like we got a 30-second timeout.
Maddie Cox has checked in for Henry Clay. 30-second timeout, minute 54 to third quarter. And we'll have Scott County, Henry Clay. Of course, Henry Clay's big three, when you talk about Keyston Brown, and when you talk about, of course, Marquez Warwick, and you talk about Harris Hawkins, all three of those kids had 20-plus points the other night in their victory in the semifinal game. So they're going to need that same production. And Ramon Jackson coming off the bench for Henry Clay, he may get the start tonight.
I feel like Hawkins has been the key to both games for Henry Clay against Scott County this year. He went nuts in the first half and got Henry Clay their lead early in the season. Second time around, Taryn Hamilton was in the starting lineup for that one. Kind of neutralized Hawkins a little bit, held him to 6 points and 10 rebounds. He's usually Mr. Double-Double, as they call him. So.
Do you think that the fact that both teams go to the regionals, that relax the players a little bit?
I don't think so. I think they want badly to win that game. They know what's at stake. They know seeding is it's a much different and easier road if you can do it as a top seed.
And this year, a little added plus, you get to host that first regional game.
For sure.
And then the semifinals and final will move to Eastern Kentucky University. The schedule of that will be Monday night. The district winners will play at home. And then Wednesday night they'll have the semifinal games, and Friday night will be the regional final for the boys. Girls side will give you that here in just a little bit later. Down low, Tompkins spinning and off glass. It rolls in. Nice shot by Kennedy Tompkins.
Little baby hook, use the glass, use the rim.
Down low it goes. Jenkins loses a handle on it, goes out of bounds, and will give the ball to Scott County.
See, and this is what I kind of thought was happening early this quarter. Scott County get that lead, and Henry Clay might rush things. Nice deliberate tempo, got them back within 10, but that possession was certainly hurried.
Looks like Scott County is setting up some offense to the 4. Over to Owens, lines it up, and it's good. Nothing but net.
That was one of those that you just knew when it left her fingers it was good, and I know she did too.
That is 14 now for Malia Owens, who averages 20 points a game.
Yeah, it's been a quiet 14, but it's been effective.
Left hand up and in. Mia Jenkins, excuse me. Juliet Smith right side, fakes with the left hand. Well, that's a way to make your first basket, huh?
She's such an underrated offensive player. On some other teams, she'd do a lot more.
The lead has grown to 19.
Just like that.
Cox hands it back now out front to Jackson. 40 seconds to go in the third. Scott County by 19. That's their biggest lead they've had in this ballgame.
Yeah, it's been slowly creeping forward.
Yep.
They got it back down to 10, but Scott County is on, I believe, a 9-0 run since then.
Goes over down to Jackson. 24 seconds. Works it on the 4. Right side. There's a shot, a high rainbow shot, and that won't go for Cox, and we're going to have a whistle. And the foul will be on the Lady Cards.
The 4 picks up her second. Kaylee Wise checks in. Braylee McMath checks in. Timmy Williams checks in. This is a good chance to get a couple of your starters a little extended between quarters break here.
Exactly.
That's what Coach Helton's doing.
16.8 seconds in the third, and you got the quarter break
so
to go into the fourth.
You're making it a 2-minute water break here.
Goes through the hands of Thomas and comes right down to the hands of Wise. She gives to McMath. McMath works in on the right side. Back out it comes to Juliet Smith. 5 seconds. Juliet Smith passes right side, and there's a high shot. Won't go there. And that's the end of the third quarter. And as we go to the fourth quarter, Scott County 57, Lexington Henry Clay 38. Final 8 minutes up there here. We'll be back on PrepSpin.com, the Mingua Beef Jerky High School Basketball Game of the Week.
That familiar sound of rubber and wood floor. The feel of the ball passing between hands and air. The squeaking of the sneakers. And the moment of silent breath, thankfully followed by the whipping of net. And the reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingua moment.
Door throws it away. It'll go to Henry Clay. 57-38, Cal, as we start the fourth and final stanza here at the 42nd District Girls Championship at Henry Clay in front of a great crowd.
And Coach Steve Helton left McMath, Williams, and Wise on the floor to start this fourth quarter. And he's comfortable having McMath running the point. He left her in the entire fourth quarter for a game against Clark County earlier this year, and she was really one of the main reasons they won that game.
Thompson took it strong to the basket, drew the foul. She'll go to the free throw line for Henry Clay. She had 16 points, but Scott County held her in check in the third quarter.
They shut her out in the third quarter, and I think she's got to maybe be a little more selfish here in the fourth. She was trying to create some things from her teammates, but they also did a good job, did Scott County, of denying her the ball.
Yep, Thompson knocks down the first one. 17 now for Kaya Thompson. Leading scorer for Henry Clay. 57-39 misses Sackowin. Rebounded by Kaylee Wise.
Kaylee Wise must have about a half dozen rebounds.
She does.
Point. She's done a good job.
McMath between the legs and loses the handle, but picked up by Tom. Kick it out now to McMath. She's open from 3. Kicks it over to Juliet Smith. She'll reset the offense now.
Yeah, no rush here if you're Scott County.
Yeah, you got a 18-point lead.
Everything's in your favor.
Over to Malia Owens. Now the three-pointer knocked down. And
Timmy
nicely
Williams.
done by Williams. That's her first 3 of the game.
She started at Frederick Douglass as an 8th grader last year. She's been a nice addition at Scott County.
The lead is 60-39. And wide open, driving down is Thompson for her 19th point. Williams with the assist. Down low and high off the glass. It rolls out of there.
Kaylee Wise.
Kaylee Wise.
She is doing a nice job on the glass tonight. You know, Coach Helton's thrilled with that because you need that in the playoffs as we go deeper.
Yeah, I love these black uniforms. You can't see the numbers.
Oh, it's dark on dark. It's awful.
Dark on dark, yeah. Really easy for a old broadcaster like myself. Make it easy on me, guys.
My eyes aren't what they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago when I started out in this business. And back then it seemed like it was always dark on light or light on dark.
They made you wear that.
Now they want these designer uniforms.
62-41, 6:37 in the game.
The worst one is gold on white.
Yep.
At least the Henry Clay has the blue outline in gold.
Yep. Thompson and 3 back of the rim though. Nice rebound by Williams. Williams and DeFore bringing it across. Good pass and shot put up and in by Williams.
Leia Williams with 18 points and DeFore, the assist total is climbing. Kind of a half no-look pass. It might have been a one-eyed pass.
Yeah. I think she had both of them. Here's a steal. And she leads it out to Owens and a steal back by Jenkins.
Telegraphed it a little bit.
Jenkins. Cox open underneath. Gets it back outside, and that shot wouldn't go for Williams, but we're going to have a foul call. Kennedy Williams.
Number 2, Timothy Williams.
Timothy Williams.
First team's
5th team foul. 64-41, 5:53 to go.
It feels like it's been such a close competitive game, and you look up the scoreboard, 64-41.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That tells you the streaks that Scott County goes on.
Yeah, they just they run you to death.
(64-43). Pass stolen. Long pass picked off by Thompson.
Back-to-back turnovers. Doesn't seem like much in a game with this
Jenkins
spread.
Blocked away by Williams. Williams got another block. How many blocks she got?
At least 4 or 5.
Tompkins running the floor.
Yes, indeed. Her dad stands up and says, and one, and it was an and one for Kennedy Thompson.
Tompkins come alive here in the second half scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Coach Helton said, look, I know you got 3 fouls. You have to be conscious of it, but just go out there and play.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the lead, so go out there and be yourself and, let it roll.
One-handed free throw this time is no good. Rebounded by Jenkins. 66-43.
Yeah, I was going to say, eventually if you're Henry Clay, you've got to fire up some shots.
And there was a shot by Thompson. That's a 3, and it's good from downtown. She shot that from Richmond Road.
That was deep. WNBA 3.
66-46, full timeout. We want to tell you, though, you won't want to go away because coming up at 7:45, we'll have the Henry Clay Scott County boys, and that's the 2 top teams in the state. With apologies to Trinity, but that's the 2 top teams in the state of Kentucky, Henry Clay and Scott County.
We won't apologize much.
That's a Louisville team, you're right.
Hey, I will stack up the 11th region against anybody this year, in any year, but especially this year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think everybody was asking me, what happened? How did Dunbar beat Scott County? What did Scott County do to lose to Dunbar? Dunbar's good, y'all. They just their record doesn't show it, but they can play ball. I mean, everybody in this region can play ball. And when you're Scott County, there's a target. You get everybody's best game.
Upset alert over in the 41st District girls. Woodford County 22, Franklin County 16.
Wow.
So Woodford County leading Franklin County.
Scott County didn't see either one of those teams this year. They played Woodford County in the preseason. They handled them pretty well, but for whatever reason didn't play Franklin County this year.
Scott County basketball. Get it into Juliet Smith. Smith over now to Owens. And the ball picked off. Coming out of there with it, Henry Clay Sanford. Sanford back to Jenkins. Back to Sanford. And there's a three. Won't go off the left side by Jackson.
Sanford
Tompkins
really needed to shoot that three and passed it up.
Tompkins throws it up and in. They'll count the basket.
Everything going Kennedy's way now. After a 1-point first half, she's in double digits.
Double figures with that basket. She'll go to the line. I tell you what, it's like, you know, any player on this team can pick up the scoring for you.
As I've said on our Scott County broadcast this year, an embarrassment of riches.
Free throw no good, stuck back up and no there for Owens, and coming out there with it is Henry Clay. Sanford, and blocked, and we're going to have a
Malaya incredulous there, but
yeah,
I don't know.
She's like, where did I foul her?
Sometimes I think some of these guys think it's a crime to be tall, and it's not. I know some fans do.
That would have been her. That would have been her fourth or fifth block in this game.
Yeah, she has great technique, because you can be 6'2" and not be a good shot blocker.
You can have the timing and the
and
athleticism of this.
She is a great shot blocker, and her offensive game is only going to continue to evolve. She's really new to basketball. She and Kennedy Tompkins both really didn't pick up the game until middle school.
Aaliyah Owens is the reigning 11th region player. Here's Jenkins, stick back on the stole the inbounds and coming out there with it. Owens, she's going to be fouled. Williams, excuse me.
That's when we talk about Malaya Williams altering shots. She was nowhere near Jenkins there, and Jenkins still missed the layup because she had her in the back of her mind.
So Scott County will put it in play. Team 6 foul. Both teams have 6, so the next foul, bonus. DeFore, she's going to be fouled, and so DeFore will go to the free throw line. She's in the bonus.
24,
Thompson picked it up. 2 on her. Team 7th foul. And that will send Morgan DeFore to the line. She's a pretty good free throw shooter.
Yeah, one thing about Scott County is their stars don't always go to the line a lot because they take so many threes.
Shot rolls off by Owens, tapped around. Juliet Smith kicks it over to Owens, lines up the three, yes! Malia Owens. Aaliyah now with 17.
And the thing about her is the outside shot was the last part of her game. I mean, she's always been a decent, very good outside shooter, but it has gone to a new level this year.
Cox, back of the rim, no. Rebounded by Williams. Kicks it to Morgan DeFore. Morgan down the basket, put it up, missed some. Tompkins right side, yes.
Scott County playing with a swagger now, you can see it. Wanting to blow the doors off this thing.
They lead 73-47. Across the line, Jackson hands it to Thompson. Down low, they're trying to give it. They come back out top to Jackson. 3:48. Swing it back to Thompson. She hits the floor, and they're going to say, Morgan, you fouled her. That's why she went to the floor.
Yeah, probably.
That's the third on Morgan DeFore.
She sold it pretty well, but there was contact. So.
Foul on the Red Mamba.
Number 3 on Morgan DeFore, who will.
You know, those black mamas are really quick striking cow.
They are, well.
They're one of the most deadly snakes in the world.
The Red Mamba's pretty dangerous. She went over there and commiserated with Ryan Bartz in the corner for a minute.
And the gold medalist is jumping up and down like he's. Yeah,
he's excited. He's amped for the boys' game.
And the free throw's connected by Thompson. Boy, what a ball game she has. I'm on total or up here. I got a
25, I believe.
25 points. That's exactly what she's got. Missed the free throw on the second attempt, and we'll get a quick whistle there. And 73-48, 25-point lead right now for the Lady Cards. They're just 3:43 away from going 30-1.
If you're Henry Clay, your star has 25 and you're still down by 25. That's hard. That's hard to accept.
Right. Williams free throw in and out. Rebound Tompkins chasing it, and it's going to be out of bounds to Henry Clay. But Kennedy Tompkins
she's gotten her money's worth in the second half after not playing much in the first.
She's got her shorts pulled. You know, she's of that school that likes to pull the shorts up.
Yep, she looks like she belonged. She'd fit right in 1984.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I was thinking. 3.5 minutes to play. And losing the ball out front, over and back. Good defense there by Owens, and over and back. Jackson will turn it over. Scott County Henry Clay boys will battle at 8 o'clock tonight right here on PrepSpin. Thanks to our sponsors tonight, Whitaker Bank, Central Bank, also Rafferty's Restaurants. To the basket, up and in, Juliet Smith.
She'll pad her stats and get her up to 5 points, ton of assists.
Allie Stone to the basket. Boy, she checked in quickly, got in the scoring column, and there's some contact.
That's the payback as Thompson gets into DeFore this time.
75-50, so Scott County just 7 points off with their average of 82.
That's about right. They have hit 90. The other night was the 10th time they've hit 90 or more.
We're right here at midcourt. We got the table set up here. Williams controlling. I tell you what, pretty good vantage point right here.
Nice spot.
Free throw rolls off and rebounded by Jenkins. And jump ball called. Possession error. Will give it to Henry Clay. And the official gets a high five from one of the fans. Kind of said, way to work there, baby.
Part of the Kennedy Tompkins entourage over here.
Yeah.
Her fan club.
Shot, a high arcing shot by Cox. And Juliet Smith looking to clear to the four. Down low it goes. Williams up and in.
Too easy.
That's 20 for Malaya Williams.
And they've all been layups or 2-foot jumpers.
And here's a steal by Morgan DeFore. 2-on-1.
Yeah,
Wrap around.
I knew that was
tries
coming.
to come from behind the back this time and throws it away.
I knew the Norm Nixon LA Lakers behind the back pass was coming there. As I date myself.
John Stockton.
Yeah.
2:34 to go in this game. 42nd District Girls Championship. And Scott County, it's not in doubt. They're up 27.
My favorite point guard being a New England boy was Dennis Johnson.
Steal by Morgan DeFore to bust out up and in. She's got her average.
Yeah, she's got her average, and she's certainly better than average.
Timeout by Henry Clay as Scott County's up by almost 30, 79-50.
I think I just saw a smile from Coach Steve Helton. I haven't seen a lot of those. He's been after this team all season because it's hard to keep a team motivated when they're 29-1 and blowing everybody out.
Yeah.
There have been some nights where he's been like, man, we just didn't play well. And I'm like, but Coach, you won 99-59. You know?
Yeah, he did say that about his team the other night against Douglas. Said they didn't play very well at all, but like you said, they won by, 40-some points?
And scoreboard, bottom line, right? I mean, and I get where he's coming from because there are times that they can be either selfish or they can be unselfish to a fault, as you see there with the behind-the-back pass, and maybe just make the easy layup. In a game like this, it's not such a big deal. But there have been some closer games where he's just been like, don't turn it over there.
Yep. Gary Ball with Cal Oaks, of the Georgetown News Graphic newspaper, and the King of String, William Warfield. Looking forward to that next game. Scott County Henry Clay boys, number 1 and number 2 in the state. Comes back over to Sanford. Sanford hands it back out top to Kaya Thompson, and she's into the paint. It's going to be fouled, I believe, by Kennedy Thompson. Oh, Kennedy Tompkins. Yeah. Fourth foul on Tompkins.
The PA guy just say Lafayette foul? I thought maybe he did. Scott County's been accused of worse, I guess.
Yeah, how about Lafayette falling to?
I'm surprised by that. In both boys and girls tournaments.
Ball's good rebound. I wonder how many rebounds Williams has.
It's double digits. It's double digits. She had 8 at halftime. I bet that's doubled.
Tompkins up with the left hand.
She's been the MVP of the second half, that's for sure.
Goodness gracious.
And you're seeing just, again, someone who's scratching the surface as a sophomore.
Yeah.
Average night for Scott County, 81-50.
Yep, that is an average
Just
night.
about on both ends.
We'll have another whole new 5 for Scott County, up 81-50.
And they will light the victory cigar on a 42nd district championship, their 3rd in a row.
You can tell us who all's in there for us. I know McMath is in there. Who else we got?
Let's see. Kylie Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Emma Price. Reagan Barrett. Braylee McMath, as you said. I don't even see a fifth player out there right now. Are they playing with 4? Oh, Haley Ward over here in the corner.
Haley Ward. Shot put up and in. Oh, good basket by Jenkins.
Scott County foul number 20. Kylie Bartholomew.
Foul went on Bartholomew. Kylie's first. Short on the free throw. Rebounded by McMath. McMath. Right side in the corner. There's a three-pointer and a knockdown.
Haley Ward.
And that was Ward.
She hit 7 in a varsity game against Sayre this year and 7 at least once in the JV game.
Haley Ward gets in on the scoring column. Jenkins. Almost right side. They pick it up. They give it to Sanford. Sanford trying to go down low. Ball kicked, so it'll go back to Henry Clay. We'll keep possession. 84-52. We got the boys game coming up at 8 o'clock in front of a packed house here at Henry Clay.
Cannot wait.
Jenkins takes it to the basket, and we're going to have a foul called. Still, it's hard to see these numbers.
This was a Reagan Barrett got the foul there, number 32. This was a good opening act, though, for the boys' game. I mean, you look at the scoreboard, and people will say, well, it wasn't much of a game, but it was.
Jenkins knocks down the free throw.
It was a 10-point game mid to late third quarter before Scott County finally was able to put them away.
She got them both. 58 seconds. Scott County's McMath, and for some reason, inexplicably, she's going to be fouled by Sanford. I don't know why you're fouling. You're down 30.
I do not understand sometimes, but, you know, the adrenaline gets the best of you sometimes.
So McMath will shoot 2. 55 seconds here in the basketball game at the 42nd District Girls Championship.
It's hard to tell kids not to play when you put them in there, and they're excited just to be out there for a minute or two. Although Henry Clay's got some starters still in the games.
McMath got them both. 55 seconds here.
Well, they're not going to hit 90, but 85 is doggone close.
Shot won't go for Jenkins. Pulled off. Scott County back tapped and stolen by Sanford. Over now to Thompson. That 3 is in and out. And chased down by Scott County.
Good news for Henry Clay. They live to fight another day.
Jenkins, that's right. Both teams go to the regional tournament. Shot up and in for Jenkins. 85-57. McMath all the way to the basket, up and in.
Uncontested.
Nobody even challenged her. So they'll just run the clock out. And your district champion for 2019 of the 42nd girls is Scott County. The Lady Cards by 30, 87-57. And Cal, the Lady Cardinals advance to the regional tournament. They'll play at home, and they are a district champ out of the 42nd, 87-57.
Third consecutive year, they have not lost a district game in that time. There have been very few teams that were able to even hang with them for as long as Henry Clay did tonight. So props to the Lady Blue Devils. I'm sure they will represent the district well next week also.
So that'll wrap it up for the girls game. The district champion is Scott County. They win it 87-57. We got the main event coming up. As they say in WWE, the main event, it'll be number 1 and number 2 in the state, as Scott County Henry Clay will battle here at 8 o'clock right here on PrepSpin. And for all my teammates, Cal Oaks, and for William Warfield, the King of Stream, this is Gary Ball. Scott County 87, Henry Clay 57 in the girls game. Coming up at 8 o'clock, it'll be the boys game. Scott County and Henry Clay, they're number 1 and number 3 in the state of Kentucky. We'll have that for you here on PrepSpin.com.